But there are these things that matter, and they really fucking matter. There's like 4 things that matter, and they really fucking matter. I mean, objectively, I mean, you should care, especially you, if you thought about it for 5 fucking minutes.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Out of Voices podcast. Here is your host, Keem, as always, with our new host for this rebooted show, Miss Esmeralda D. Apollo. Say hi to everyone out there today.
Hey, everyone.
Hi. I'm responding for everyone. We are back from what has been a long hiatus. We're going to be trying some new things, trying a slimmed down, more focused version of the show. Because apparently, since we took the hiatus, the world kind of went a little crazy.
To say the least,
things happen. Certain people are president, and certain people, and by certain people I mean everyone else, kind of got fucked. So we're gonna be moving on, trying to address some of these things, and trying to talk things out, get some voices out there that haven't been heard and need a stand. First, a few things of a little bit of housekeeping before we start. The show is not going to be divided into a 3-segment type structure. Our opening segment, which we'll just talk a little and usually bring in some news stories that have interested, or in my case, mostly angered us during the week. Then we will move into a topic segment where we'll be discussing the topic of the week, which this week will be the topic of victim blaming and the place victim blaming has in our society. And after that, we'll do a segment for Miss D, usually about sex.
my favorite thing to talk about.
One of my favorite things to talk about, one of my favorite things to do. Bye. And then we'll be closing it up. I would also like to introduce, we have another new initiative. We will be trying to promote up-and-coming artists, or artists who are trying to get their music out there. So hopefully every week or so, on every show, we'll have a new artist, or we'll try to have a newer artist. And we also have a new theme song for our show, provided by the Living Room Leftists, who will also be providing our Artist of the Week for this new show. So, yeah, give them a look when we're done with all this. But I think it's about time to start our first segment. Wouldn't you agree?
I certainly do agree.
So you wanna bust out your news?
Absolutely. So for everyone's information, I am located in Tennessee, and I went local for this news segment today, just because I'm so frustrated and outraged by this. So our Tennessee state legislature this week passed, and our governor Bill Haslam just signed into law a new law stating that words that are not otherwise defined in the body of a law should have their natural and ordinary meanings. Which, unsurprisingly, this is a pretty clear attack on a pretty clear attack on LGBT rights, especially rights regarding marriage and family adoption, and things like that. To where now it opens up a way for people to attack LGBT families, wherein there are 2 women or 2 men who are trying to get married or trying to adopt a child, based on the natural and ordinary meaning of the words. So that is my thing that I am outraged about this week. Well, that is one of the many things that I'm outraged about this week.
Natural and natural and ordinary meaning of the word. That what? Sorry, what the actual hell does that mean?
Right. So, in laws, which many of them are, that use words like husband and wife or father and mother, right? Instead of a lot of words don't have, or a lot of the laws that are on the books don't say things like
Right.
spouse one and spouse two or parent one and parent two, right? They use husband and wife and father and mother. And then, under the natural and ordinary meaning of that, of course, there is gender implied, to where this is going to be a pretty easy way or a pretty clear way that conservative groups are going to try to attack and degrade the institutions of like attack and degrade equal rights with regards to marriage and adoption that we've been seeing we've been making strides in for the last few years.
Right. It's basically what society, which we know is already positioned like society's definitions of and hierarchies and stuff. What society has already deemed the definition of said words in the past. We should go by those meanings. So family means, husband, wife, 2 kids, male, female, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Which, fuck. That's some real garbage there.
Yeah, because, and it's insidious because this law itself doesn't actually attack anything. But it does open up a clear channel for conservative groups to challenge the existent laws as they are. Like this opens up a way to undermine all of these laws and all these Supreme Court cases that we have been seeing that support like same-sex marriage, that support adoption by 2 parents with the same gender. Like these are things. It's insidious and it's sneaky. It's sneaky.
Right.
Oh,
because the South has never been known to be sneaky about
hell no.
Yeah, they haven't been known to be sneaky about like persecuting others and stuff. They never.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. It's like it's like passing some sort of executive order for religious liberty. There's no way that could be for a reason,
Oh, that was almost my thing too. Grr.
Oh man, he just swept in there and just, oh my God. It's also very just funny to me is that when trying to let things to allow this type of stuff, they always go, well, isn't it obvious that these things mean this thing, so we shouldn't have to worry about defining them or new definitions or such. Like, these things words mean what they mean. There is no other meanings to them. So we obviously know that family is male and female, and marriage should be between male and female. So,
obviously.
Yeah,
obviously. And obviously the meanings of words are fixed and immutable, and they never ever change over time, ever.
Nothing ever changes.
Nothing ever
changes and should ever change because it's safe, everyone should just do what they've always done. I think the biggest problem with America is when they let women vote and they let black people go free. Should never change. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My God.
Ooh, so here's the thing that I just found. This seems to be a theme in the news lately too, of Republicans doing things without really thinking about it. So the sponsor of this bill in the Senate, in the Tennessee State Senate, was John Stevens from Huntington. And he said, He's on the record saying that he has no idea if this bill could be used to infringe on the marriage and family rights of same-sex couples. He said that he just wanted unidentified words to mean what they meant at the time that lawmakers put them into the law. Circling back around to things never changing, right? He doesn't want them to mean what they mean now. He wants them to mean what they originally meant when the law was written.
And that is so stupid. I mean, I don't.
Also, that's not like natural and ordinary meaning, right? Like the ordinary meaning of a word is the one that's in common use, not the one that was in common use 50 years ago, right?
Or 100 years ago.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
Like these people seem to think that society, humans never change. But shit, I mean, things have to change. I mean, just the very fact that we're having a podcast right now on a computer box.
What sorcery is this?
What wizardry? Like things change, and you have these people going, well, I don't really know how it affects now, but I think we just define things for how they were defined in law years ago, 50 years ago or so, because things haven't changed. Like things haven't changed. Like you're a piece of shit, right, man? Like
right.
Come on,
right. I mean, it does make sense though that cishet white dude TM, which I say all the time. Would want things to go back to the way they were 50 years ago, because who had it best 50 years ago?
Man, I just wish we would stop. I wish we would stop trying to just overcome their rights. I mean, we should go back to 50 years ago. Is what I'm saying. That's
what I'm saying.
Like my people were in a great position 50 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I love water hoses. Absolutely love them.
I mean, you're just playing in the street at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's a fun party. Bring your dogs along, German Shepherds.
Yeah, exactly.
They bite a little bit, and it's fine.
Exactly.
It's fine.
So I am curious, though, to hear what you have to say about your news thing.
Which kind of goes along with like ridiculousness.
I mean, welcome to 2017.
Yeah, welcome to 2017. This came out recently. A woman was recently convicted for laughing during Jeff Sessions' hearing. That's right. A woman has gone to court and is facing up to a year and a $2,000 fine for laughing at what was going on in Jeff Sessions' Senate confirmation.
Oh, no. Do you know, I've been following this too. Do you know what made her laugh? The thing that she laughed at?
I can't remember. I remember seeing it.
She busted out laughing when he testified that he had never treated anyone unequally under the law.
That is right. Now that is right. And the poor woman said I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help but like giggle because the audacity of it all.
Right. Of him to say something like that. Like Jesus Christ.
But this woman, just a little background, she was a member. Her name was Desiree Farouz. I'm probably butchering that. Farouz. She's 61 years old. Mm-hmm. She's an activist and mother with the group Code Pink. It's a women-centered grassroots group that protests war. Advocates equal treatment and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. All that great, awesome stuff. But of course, they were, practicing their American right to protest, obviously. They actually arrived there in Klan attire. and this is where things get kind of fuzzy legally, because the claim is, well, she isn't being charged for laughing. She's being charged for her disorderly conduct by arriving there in protest, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That she was just there. I mean, her very presence was disrupting. So the laugh was just the final straw in her disorderly conduct, as they say.
Yeah. Okay. So also to add to that, what happened at the end of it? So she showed up. They were immediately like aware of her, and they were like on edge because of like this group had shown up. And then she laughed during the testimony, and then they tried to remove her. And as they were trying to remove her, she began loudly protesting that they had no right to remove her. They had no basis for removing her from the courtroom.
Right.
And got pretty loud about it. I mean, as you do when you are protesting some bullshit.
That's very true, and she once again has the right to protest herself being removed when they're violating her right to protest. You know, I mean, this country, if you go back to the Revolutionary War right before it and things, this country is quite literally founded on people going and protesting loudly.
Yes.
Dumping tea into the ocean and such.
Oh, you won't believe the number of arguments I've had with people who say that protesters should just be nice and quiet and not disrupt anything and not destroy any property. And I'm like, yeah, you remember how this country started, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Sons of Liberty would have some major problems with that.
Right. But
oh my God, it sickens me. It sickens me that we have come to a point where protest that isn't basically lip service protest is automatically considered both extremist and wrong.
Yes.
And that is insane. And at this point, they're literally locking up a person for yelling.
Yeah.
Someone may get a year in jail for yelling, but for exercising her rights as a citizen to protest something, and in this case, someone that she sees as wrong. And who has a history of, for lack of a better word, being a dick.
I mean, yeah, right. Oh,
my God! Like, is this where this sounds like the beginning of a dictatorial regime.
Oh boy, does it ever!
Like, protesters are getting carried away for yelling. The press is getting locked out of events where they need to be reporting. I mean, shit. The FDA, I think it was reported this week, the FDA has been forced to only play Fox News in their offices.
Oh shit!
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
That's a thing. In all, I'm going to say it's FDA. I'm going to look it up now. Yeah, it's the FDA. They are required to switch all television monitors to the Fox News channel, and can't be switched.
I'm pretty sure that's not a thing that's okay. Like, what? Like, what? I mean, my first clue, though, that this was going all to fucking hell in a handbasket, though, was very shortly after the election when all the news came out that all the government agencies the Park Service and the environmental, like the EPA and all these government agencies, first off, no longer allowed to post anything that contradicts the official stance, like the statements of the Republican Party. When they continued to do that, all of their public communications were shut down completely. They were not allowed to do Twitter. They were not allowed to do Facebook. They were not allowed to speak to the press about any of this stuff. And now almost all of them have rogue accounts on social media where people who ostensibly work for these agencies are posting the shit that they are that they feel like they need to post, but that they are not being allowed to post through official channels, at the risk of them getting fired, right? Like this is some scary bullshit right here.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. And elaborating on the FDA thing, they've denied that memo exists. Mm-hmm. Of course, as they would.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah. But no, this people, I'm having a problem with people being okay with what's happening.
Ooh.
Because, I mean, we're up in arms right now about North Korea. And now we have I'm not even going to say administration. I'm going to say the word regime, because that's what it's become. A regime.
Mm-hmm.
A regime that is beginning to do the same type of things.
Fucking scary, man.
It's scary. I mean, even us doing this podcast, we're trying to reach out to people, trying to get people's voices heard, trying to get information and interesting things out there to the public. Even that puts us at risk, our future's at risk. Mm-hmm. Because at any point, I feel like somebody could come to my house and be like, hey, well, you were saying these things about the administration and their actions, so we're going to take you away.
Oh, what a scary world we live in.
Like, that's freaky.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, this is America. I'm throwing up air quotes here. You can't see them. But this is America. You can't do that shit. At least you're not supposed to be able to. But somehow we've arrived in a few months, I'm saying a few months, of this being okay. When we had years of people questioning the former administration on much smaller things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is fine. You know, this is okay because this is America becoming great again. You know,
Gross. It makes me feel gross to even hear that. Ugh.
Oh my God, man! The Cheeto in chief is something else.
I like that. That's good.
Oh yeah, I've had months off. I've been ready to talk some shit.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to move in and talk some shit about some victim blaming.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to start moving into our topic segment about victim blaming.
But first, a song from our featured band, the Living Room Leftists.
Take the time it takes to mop up the mess that got forgotten in the slanted light of afternoon. I've been here for half the day, been counting seconds since I took the order to let me write your name onto a coffee cup. I sell my labor, sell your coffee, but not able to speak up. Starbucks, Karl Marx, unrequited love. If you ask me what I'm thinking, that's what I've been thinking of. some milk steam. You know I never learned his name. Check the clock, see if the hands move. See if it's yet that time of day when I'll take my time, I'll turn it into a disappointed way that'll never make you see me as a person, not a worker in a stupid chain cafe, Starbucks, Karl Marx, unrequited love. If you ask me what I'm thinking, that's what I've been thinking of. Material conditions. Oh, I'm a well-conditioned man. Try to do menu additions. Wish you could meet me where I am. Instead of Starbucks, Karl Marx, unrequited love. If you ask me what I'm thinking, that's what I've been thinking of. If you ask me what I'm thinking, that's what I've been thinking of.
Yeah, and we are back. And we are starting our segment on victim blaming. I hope you enjoyed that song, though.
Yeah, that was the song Starbucks by the Living Room Leftists off their brand new album that just released yesterday, and it is awesome. And we'll give you information to go buy that from them, and they have sweet t-shirts also. Get you that information at the end of the podcast.
Oh, all right. Now, so we actually, me and Miss D'Apollo here we've been discussing this topic for the past couple weeks.
As only that long? It feels like it's been months.
It's
possibly the entire time we've known each other.
Yeah, no, it's kind of been a thing.
It comes up, is what we're saying.
But America seems to have a obsession with victim blaming. Almost any time there's been some major offense in the news, you get about 2 seconds of a perpetrator and what they've done committing the crime, and about 8 days of information on why it was the victim's fault, or the victim had some past transgressions that makes their death okay.
Right. Like,
or
this person did one bad thing 5 years ago, and so that means that they deserve every bad thing up to and including this thing that happened to them.
Exactly. So a few weeks ago, because I think this might have been what started the most recent discussion on it. It was either this story or Aaron Hernandez, or both. The quote unquote Facebook Live killer up I can't remember where it was. Ohio, that's where it was. Where this man, who's obviously out of his mind, ambushed a older gentleman and murdered him on Facebook Live. And, of course, the news was all in the uproar, obviously, because it was a horrible, horrible thing to happen to an old man. Mm-hmm. But as time went on, quote unquote, information on the victim's past started coming to light. Apparently, he had a much younger wife or girlfriend who he started dating when she was 16, which, you know, it is what it is. It's statutory in some states. I know down here in Mississippi, it's whatever. You know, but the news outlets begun to paint a picture of this man as almost as if someone who was deserving of his untimely death, which got my, like, you know, brain running again, because this happens constantly.
Yeah.
Especially with all the police shootings of these young black men and women. Every time this happens, and in most of these cases, these men, women, children that are killed were found to be either innocent, or they're found to be innocent and unarmed. It immediately went back to, well, this person once stole an orange from the local grocery store.
Right.
Criminal deviant. You know, it immediately becomes their fault that they were killed.
Which is just disgusting.
It's absolutely awful. Like, oh my God. Oh, I can't think that, and this is the problem. I can't believe I run into this problem, but there have been so many of these instances where I can't get a specific name because it happens every time.
Yeah.
And that's a sad, like, just a sick, sad scenario. But of course, Tamir Rice comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, a kid, like, in all ways, like a child. But I remember all the news that came out afterward, coming up saying this about how this 12-year-old was delinquent.
Yeah.
You know, he's 12.
Yeah, and now looking at the case of Jordan Edwards, the most recent one came out this week. We're seeing the flip side of that, where suddenly people are outraged by this because he was an honor roll student and a good kid and blah blah blah. Okay, why is it okay to be outraged over the killing of a 15-year-old boy who was an honor roll student, but not about a 12-year-old boy who was a 12-year-old boy, right? Like, and did some stupid shit. Like, it doesn't matter whether whether this kid was on the honor roll. It doesn't matter whether this kid shoplifted from a fucking anything. It doesn't matter, like, what if this kid was a handful in school, if he had good grades or bad grades, if he was like super, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This was a child, right? This was a kid, and now this kid is dead, and the media is looking for any excuse to shift the blame away from the person who killed a kid and onto the kid who was killed.
Right. And you know, as a black person, as a black guy who's seen this 1,000 times, as the media always posts a kind of image that no black person ever is innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no matter what the case, we are not innocent. I mean, we're super predators, right? In the 90s, super predators.
Ooh, yeah.
We're the worst things in society, you know?
Yes, and young black men are terrifying. Let me tell you what.
I'm terrifying.
I'm terrified of you.
If anyone saw me, I am probably the least intimidating person in the world. Children try to jump me. Okay?
I mean, it's because you're short.
It's also true. But as far as the black community is concerned, no black person is innocent. It's just not true. Like no matter if a victim is black, that victim is not innocent. And that also the not innocent extends to women in regards to sexual based offenses.
Mm-hmm.
Because when a woman is raped, that's her fault. At least according to the media.
Yes, she must have been doing something to invite it.
Yes, she was doing something to invite it. I know this. I mean, this news story is old, but everybody remembers the big one for the last year, Brock Turner.
Mm-hmm. Ugh.
I mean, this young lady was brutally raped. This guy was caught doing it. He got, what, 3 months?
3 months. 6-month sentence, but he got out after 3.
The judge said that this conviction could ruin his potential. So the perpetrator has potential, but the victim is just, what, chopped liver?
Yeah. Right. No, she was a young woman who was at a bar, who was drunk, who presumably was willing to have sex with people outside of marriage. And so that means that she deserved anything that anybody would do to her.
Right.
Obviously. Somebody who has no morals must have been inviting it somehow. Obs.
It's insane. It's especially with teenage girls. As you see the thing of these young these you see the thing of the male teachers being quote unquote seduced by their these teenage Jezebels.
Ugh.
You know, awful.
Yeah.
I'm going to for a second. I'm gonna give a short list. You have here are a couple of these male these rapists basically who.
No, not basically. Let's be real.
Where these rapists, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Who avoided jail time with their victims basically being the blame, like being blamed for it. David Becker, 2 counts of rape and indecent assault. Judge gave him probation so he could enjoy his college experience. Brock Turner, of course, we discussed him. Alexander Rodriguez, bus driver, charged with raping one of his students on the bus. Rape sentence was suspended. Got 10 years probation. And I don't want to keep going on because I'm just going to be angry.
Oh, there's one though that came to light the end of last year that I'm going to bring up just for fun. So in Montana, I keep up with the news from Montana. In Montana, at the end of last year, there was a man who was convicted of raping his daughter, 12 years old, 12 years old daughter. He got a 30-year suspended sentence after pleading guilty to incest, and he spent 60 days in jail. Two months, 60 days in jail, and gave him credit for the 17 days that he had already been in jail. So after sentencing, he spent less than 2 months in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck. Jesus.
Sorry. Anger.
Oh, and to keep going, and this we'll combine this with the no black with like the rape being the victim's fault, and all black people are not innocent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this one fucked me up over the past year. This
Okay.
story fucked me up over the past year.
Mm-hmm.
It was the story of the football player, the white football player,
Yeah.
raping his sexually assaulting because
Yeah.
he was a clothes hanger, I think, his mentally disabled black teammate,
Mm-hmm.
and avoided conviction.
Yeah.
He got 3 years probation, $300 community service.
Jesus.
He brutally raped a completely vulnerable young man
Mm-hmm.
with a clothes hanger.
Yeah.
But the attorney general says he didn't believe it's appropriate for Mr. Howard to suffer the consequences of being a sex offender.
I hate it when sex offenders don't have to suffer the consequences of being sex offenders.
Why in the hell do we have a legal system that is more worried about protecting the perpetrator of a crime than protecting the victim of a crime?
Because there's something that all of these perpetrators have in common. We live in a system that is set up to prioritize in every way those cishet white dudes that I was talking about.
Right.
For those of our listeners who don't understand, this is a phrase that comes up that comes out of my mouth frequently. Cishet white dude is my shorthand for a man who is not transgender, who is heterosexual, and who is white, obviously. Which is like that checks all the boxes of privilege in America and in the entire Western world, but in America in particular. So cishet white dude.
It's what the black people like myself would call the man.
Yes.
Yeah. Busting down some 70s slang, of course. But yeah, we're protecting these people, and in the case of in the Idaho case, no one got to be no one was protected. Of course, the criminal, who obviously terrible person, killed himself, and he was hunted down, but as it should be. But also, since the victim wasn't a member, wasn't part of the man, also was destroyed by the media.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I remember the story once again last year. Last year was full of stories like this, in particular, that got just all over the place. There was a young white girl who was being kidnapped,
Mm-hmm.
and she ran from her kidnapper and ran up on this black guy. I think he may have been homeless, but the black guy defended her and took her to safety and basically saved her from her kidnappers. He got about 2 days of being considered a hero before his past came to light, where he was a drug addict and a former drug addict and whatever, and all the horrible things, all the convictions he had. He saved this young lady's life. He saved her from being kidnapped, probably killed.
And yet, because he had made mistakes in his past, that invalidates him as a hero.
We live in a country that anything that's done in the past is an immediate judgment on what you do in your present, no matter if it has anything to do with what happens.
Yeah.
Somebody could go, let's say I was to go out right now. You know, I am, straight A student from when I was in school, and never got in trouble, don't have a arrest record or anything. If I was to go out right now, unarmed, because I don't carry weapons, and let's say there was some kind of altercation where I was killed by a police officer or something like that, there's probably a picture of me somewhere with a backwards cap on and my pants sagging for something. That picture's getting put up first of all, and it's probably gonna be me when I was like 10. That picture's gonna get put up first of all, and they're gonna go back and find an instance where I was in Walmart and I took a cherry out of a bag and ate it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be a thief and a thug.
Yes. Ugh. And it gets even worse when you start looking at this from the lens of like intersectionality.
Right.
Right. So going back to what you were saying about so black people are presumed guilty. Right. They are presumed to be never innocent.
And women are always presumed to be sexual deviant, basically. Exactly.
And it gets even worse when you start looking at so no secret that black women are hypersexualized in our country. Right.
Right.
So that becomes like both of those things become even more intense when you start looking at sexual assault perpetrated upon black women.
Right.
Right. And then we start looking at trans people, especially trans women. Right. Obviously, they were maliciously trying to fool a man into having sex with them, despite the fact that they are, quote unquote, a man, which is absolutely not true. Like, that's not how that works. But thanks, though. Right. So because of this perceived dishonesty, this perceived maliciousness, then it's like we excuse violence against trans women. And when you compound that with trans women of color, it becomes even worse, where we don't even hear about these crimes that happen because we perceive that it's victim blaming, right? Like we perceive that it's deserved somehow.
It's their fault. Yeah.
Obviously.
And adding on to that, I just went and looked it up right quick. The power of the internet.
Yes.
So in this past week, there have been a recorded 4 transgendered black women killed in the U.S.
In this week.
This week.
Shit.
In 2016, so in the past year. 23.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Highest ever recorded by the Anti-Violence Project.
And here we have the 4th one in a week.
Yes.
And it's only April. May. It's May now.
May, yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what day it is.
Which brings the 2017 total. I'm looking right now. 2017 total is 7.
Christ.
And wow. That doesn't seem like, 7 people got killed. That is a huge problem. Because that's 7 that have been killed that's been reported.
Yeah.
And these are transgendered women of color.
Mm-hmm. Just out of curiosity, is that just black trans women, or are they
Black,
including
no,
other?
this is because we were talking about intersectionality,
Yeah,
and I went through all three, like black transgender women.
yeah. Well, I meant,
Yeah,
is it black women of color specifically, or just any trans woman of color? Because the statistics vary based on where you look. Some sites include like Hispanic
what?
or Native
No,
trans women.
this is just black trans women, not women of color. So
Okay.
just black. Yeah, as you know, women of color, that statistics that's going up. I
Yeah.
mean, that's all there is to it. And once again, that's what's reported.
Yeah.
It's so here's I this is a anecdote that has happened in the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with my sisters, and my stepsister said that she always has to be careful, and she doesn't like to go out anywhere by herself ever because there is a because she there is a possibility, there's a high possibility that she will be raped,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing's going to be done about it.
Yeah.
And me and my other sister, we had once again we were like, it's horrifying that is her fear. She lives her life day to day with that constant fear that that something terrible is going to happen to her, and it's going to be blamed on her, and the perpetrator will get away with it.
Yeah.
That's insane. But this is the life that people are having to live because that's all it's ever being shown.
Yeah.
The only thing that's ever been shown is people of color, women, members of the LGBTQ community. We are not safe and we are not innocent ever.
And we live in a world where the burden of avoiding being the victim of these crimes is put almost completely on us, right?
Exactly.
Right? Women are told all the time from the time that we're small, right? Like, don't expose your body, don't talk to strange men, don't leave your drinks unattended, don't take candy from people, or don't take food or drinks from people that you don't know. Never. When I went to college, my parents sat me down and said, "Don't ever leave your drink unattended. Don't take an open drink that you didn't see poured." Like all of these things.
Right.
Carry weapons with you when you go. Like carry a whistle, carry pepper spray, et cetera, et cetera. I have friends who still to this day will not go anywhere without pepper spray. And like black people are the same, right? Like don't cover your face, don't act suspiciously, don't like why is the burden of not being the victim of a crime put on the person who is a victim of a crime, right?
Right.
And it's because we can't count on like justice being done.
Right. And no one and we don't even encourage justice to be done.
No. Right? We put the focus completely upon like the things that you can do to prevent this from happening.
No, like there are very little parents out there telling their sons right now, don't rape someone.
Right.
Or there are very, and we'll go with this. There is very few white parents out there saying, "Hey, don't be shitty to the little black kid, or don't be shitty to the little Mexican child, or the little Asian kid, or just don't be shitty."
No kidding.
Like, tell people, like, teach your children not to be shitty. That's a simple one. Don't be a douchebag. Oh, it's so infuriating. It's so goddamn infuriating.
But I mean, that one has to come from, like, the parent. That has to come from inside the parents, right? Like, there are plenty of parents out there who are teaching their children, don't be shitty. Except if somebody is gay, because that's wrong. That's an abomination. Right? Like, don't be shitty except to black people, because black people are dangerous and criminals and they're, like, morally corrupt. Right? Like, don't be shitty except to women because you're a man and you have power over women. Like you are superior in the eyes of God to a woman. Like, it's gross. Don't be shitty except to fat people, because being fat is evidence of moral weakness, because if they were morally strong, they would have self-control and be able to be skinny. Like, fuck you guys. Jesus.
Exactly. Oh my God. It's what we're saying is, hey guys, time to step back and, one, not be shitty. Two, teach others not to be shitty.
Yeah, no shit.
Good God.
And let's fix this fucking system to put the responsibility for a crime back where it belongs, which is on the person who committed the fucking crime, not on the victim of the crime.
Yeah, like, people get up there and, like, stand up and say, "Hey, this is bullshit. Don't stop. Don't blame this rape victim for being raped." Oh my God! And that even reminds me, in regards to the Idaho killer, and oh my God, his reasoning for killing this man and threatening to kill others is because he was denied by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And the outcry after it wasn't, this man is a monster for what he is doing to people and the lives he's taken. It is, well, she should have just took him, because if she would have just took him and did what a woman's supposed to do, quote unquote, he wouldn't have killed anyone.
Right. So now the responsibility for these people's murders is on the woman who didn't want to have sex with this guy.
Exactly.
Ugh.
There's no responsibility on criminals. There's no responsibility on people who have done horrible things. It's on, the blame is on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also hard to understand. We have a society that's so highly criminalized that, because we're given the picture that, one, criminals, like, once you're in jail, you're the worst of the worst in society.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you commit a crime, it's always the criminal's, the victim's fault. So I'm confused here.
No. You're conflating two things, though, right? If the perpetrator is white, then the crime is the fault of the victim. But if the perpetrator is any other race, then
well, let's go into this a little more. Let's go into this a little more.
Okay.
If the perpetrator is white, it's the fault of the victim.
Yes. Especially if the victim is, especially if the perpetrator is a white man, and the victim is female, black, transgender, LGB, or any combination thereof.
If the perpetrator is a black man, and the victim is a black woman, black person that is, like, non-binary,
mm-hmm.
it is also still the fault of the victim.
Yes.
So we got a double thing there. It's
almost like the further away you move from cishet white dude, the more likely you are to be blamed for the crime, whether you're the perpetrator or the victim.
Are you saying that our society has some kind of strata?
What? No. Why would I say such a thing?
The fuck, people.
Hmm.
And I got to shout out to black men like myself. Okay? Black men like myself. You got to stop doing the shit where when you see another black dude do something fucked up, blaming it on the woman. You got to stop. You have to stop. Because anytime, notice personally, on a very personal level, when one of your boys, quote unquote, goes out and does something, man, you know that girl. Man, you know he wasn't did that if it wasn't for her. No, your boy fucked up. It's his fault. If I'm from the country, and back home, guys have a bad habit of beating up women. And just about any time that's happened, it's always, well, she started the fight, obviously. If she would have just not went through his phone, they wouldn't have had the fight. And, I mean, didn't matter what he did or what he does to her or to get that response. She just shouldn't have done it. Motherfucker, for real. Sorry, I have to go back country for a second.
All right, just to emphasize the point.
Yeah. Like, stop defending your boys. Stop it. America, stop defending your boys. Because it's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my God. So are you ready to start to ease off this conversation and move into the next segment?
Yeah, I think that I might be. I feel like I've yelled as much as possible about victim blaming. No, that's not true. There's always more to say about victim blaming.
We can go forever.
But
anger. But I think for the sake of our listeners and the sake of my my anxiety,
mind your blood pressure. Mind your blood pressure.
My blood pressure is getting a little high, feeling a little strokey. So we're gonna move on to Miss Diapolo's sex segment after another short clip from the Living Room Leftist.
Treetops and soft clouds, your very first kiss. Oh, isn't it nice to exist? But your mother is going to die, and your father is going to die, and you are going to die, my friend. Oh, everyone is going to die.
Well, on that bright note, we move on to Miss Diapolo's sex segment. What you got for us today, Miss D?
All right, so this is a brand new segment to this podcast, as anybody who has listened to this podcast in the past knows. My favorite thing to think and talk and read and listen to podcasts about is sex, and especially I consume sex-positive media. And I thought before I got into all of the many, many facets of sex and sex toys and all these things that I love to talk about, I should spend my very first sex segment talking about what I mean when I say that I consume sex-positive media. So sex positivity is a concept wherein anything that you are into, as long as every party involved is consensual or is consenting, that you do you and nobody else has the right to judge that. So it doesn't matter what acts you're into. It doesn't matter any fetishes or any kink or anything. It doesn't matter if you like to have sex that is crazy and off the wall, or that is extremely vanilla, or even if you are asexual and don't like to have sex with people at all. That is completely fine, and that is up to you, and that is your choice, which is valid and should be respected and not judged by anybody. However, in preparing for this, sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so in preparing for this segment, I was looking up sex positivity just to get some more perspectives on it, because that is what I do. I read extensively about everything involved in sex. But came across some very interesting criticisms of sex positivity, wherein the people that I was reading were very skeptical about sex positivity because they have seen it used to excuse real shitty behavior in people. And that their take on sex positivity was very, very different from what I take it to be, to where they've seen sex positivity used to do things like, so in the polyamorous community, there's something called the OPP, or the one penis policy, wherein people create rules within their relationships. This typically happens in a couple that's a man and a woman, wherein the man can go out and date other people, usually other women, because cis normativity is a thing. But so the man can go out and date other women, and the woman in the relationship could go date other women too, which is quote unquote fair, but she's not allowed to date another man. Right, because something. Anyway, so there's this practice. The people that were using this criticism of sex positivity have seen it used to excuse, like people having really, really like shitty, racist means of choosing partners. Both people who exclude certain races from their dating pool completely, or people who fetishize people of other races, to seek those people out. Often it's black women or Asian women or black men, right? To seek these people out because of really racist, shitty stereotypes, instead of seeing these people for who they are. And those are all really, really valid criticisms of sex positivity that I have seen less commonly. But because of this, I decided that I needed to modify my sex positivity a little bit. So I have come up with a shiny new concept, as far as I can tell. I Googled it and I couldn't find anything about it, where I am now referring, when I am talking about sex positivity, my personal brand of sex positivity is specifically anti-oppressive sex positivity, wherein you can, like, people have preferences, but if you notice that your preferences with regards to sex are lining up with shitty oppressive ideology, the burden is completely on you to examine why you have these preferences and see if there's a shitty reason behind it, right?
We have a word of the day.
I have a lot of words of the day. But yeah, that's my concept though, right? Is anti-oppressive sex positivity, right? Like if a white person doesn't want to date black people, why the fuck not? Like, look at that shit and figure out why you don't want to date black people, because it's probably something shitty.
Yeah.
Right. If you are a straight man and you don't want to date trans women, take a look at that shit, because it's probably shitty. Like, why not? Why don't you want to date trans women? Look at that shit. Don't just accept it and excuse it as, oh, that's just my preference. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, look at that shit and figure out what's going on there that's making you not want to do that. If you are a monosexual person, by which I mean straight or gay, like you identify as 100% straight or 100% gay, and you don't date bisexual people or pansexual or other kinds of polysexual people, take a look at that shit and figure out why not, because it's probably based on something shitty, right? Like, circling back around, and don't be a dick.
Don't be shitty. Just don't be shitty.
Don't be shitty, guys. Like, if you, but so, and that requires a kind of self-awareness, right? Like, you have to be aware, going back around to intersectionality. Again, for those of you who don't know what intersectionality is, it's a theory of feminism whereby people have multiple different kinds of identities that interact with one another, right? So, like, you can be you can have the oppressed identities of being like black and gay, but you could also have a privileged identity of being cisgender, right? So you're not trans. And those things interact, like, make your experience fundamentally different from somebody who is black and gay and trans, right? Or you can be disabled or not disabled, right? There's different oppressed identities that interact with one another to create different kinds of life experiences. That's what I mean when I talk about intersectionality. But so it requires, in order to be anti-oppressive in your sex positivity, you have to be aware of which identities you hold that are oppressed and which are privileged, and notice when your sexual preferences are based on people who have oppressed identities that you don't have, right? Like, if you don't want to date trans people or bi people or polyamorous people, or, I mean, hell, atheist people or whatever. Like, no matter what, if you are making these decisions based on somebody else's oppressed identities, take a look at why, because you're probably being shitty.
You have to be able to confront yourself.
Yes.
Like, if you start digging and you start to feel a little uncomfortable, that's probably for a reason.
Yes.
Very, very right.
So, that is the foundation upon which I'm going to continue building my anti-oppressive, sex-positive sex segment, wherein I will have something new and shiny every single week to talk about. Sometimes it might be a concept or a toy or like anything. It could be anything, guys. Tune in. It's gonna be a trip.
Sometimes you can put it in your butt.
Pretty regularly, I bet you can put it in your butt. So that's a thing.
Well, we've discussed this like in real life, but I can't wait to, like, as we dig more into your sex segment, because, man, you know some stuff.
I do know some stuff. I had a whole conversation with a stranger at a bar last night wherein I got invited to go, like, do a mini seminar, like an education session with some employees at a local, like, store about, like, body safe materials. Ooh, that's going to be one that's coming up soon, guys. Body safe toy materials. Like, tune in.
And I'll just say, she gave me a lesson on that not too long ago. Like to speak.
Yes. Body safe materials. It's important. Tune in. I've got thoughts.
Miss C is my very, very, she's my personal sex expert.
I'm everybody's personal sex expert.
Like, if I need to know something, or, hey, I'm trying to figure some shit out, she's got me.
That is true. It's my favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah?
Oh. Including with random strangers at bars. I will talk to anybody about sex all the time. It's a thing.
And I'm glad because man, sex is one of my favorite things in the world. It's like sex and food and myself. Because yeah, I'm awesome. But that all we have for today?
I think that that's all that we have for today.
Oh wow, that went by pretty fast.
It did.
Sounds like the reboot episode went swimmingly. I'm enjoying it. I hope our listeners have enjoyed it. Um, I also hope our listeners have enjoyed the music taste that we have brought to you today. The Living Room Leftists, one of my I'll say one of my new favorite like local type bands that I've heard. So and I got luckily I got the privilege of getting to see them perform live, and Miss D got to see them perform live like very recently,
like
again.
Last night.
Yeah, they are definitely a treat. I love it, man. I love it.
All right. Well, we have some resources then as we wrap up our episode to leave you guys with. So, Keen, you wanted to tell everybody more about Code Pink, yes?
Yeah. Code Pink, as I said earlier, it's a women-based activism group. They protest, like once again, they protest war. They encourage women's equality. They also like to step out for LGBT rights and black. Basically, they're a huge activism force. And if you would like to look more into them and offer your support for the woman who was recently arrested for her protest, go to codepink.org. There you will find most of the information you would need if you want to find out more. Maybe get involved, take a stand. Your information will be there. Once again, it's codepink.org. Miss D, go ahead with the rest of yours.
All right. So unsurprisingly, we are going to yell a lot on this podcast about civil rights and about LGBT rights and yell about pro-black stuff, yell about all these things. I personally love to yell about feminism a lot, and so I have a roundup of important links, some very general that will probably be offered more than once, and some more specific today. So if you also get fired up about civil rights and feminism and all of these wonderful things, wonderful justice-y things, we've got some links for you guys. First up, in this time of our new presidency, there are a number of organizations that are doing very, very important work on behalf of the American people, because the government doesn't seem to be doing any important work on behalf of the American people these days. So if you get fired up about justice, you want to see more justice and more representation of the American people being done, check out the American Civil Liberties Union, which is aclu.org. They're doing incredibly important work right now. If you get fired up about reproductive justice, especially healthcare and advocating for victims, check out Planned Parenthood. Of course, they are now being defunded under the new healthcare bill, almost completely defunded is what's being threatened. So check out and donate to Planned Parenthood, which is plannedparenthood.org. From there, you can see different ways to donate. You can see different ways to volunteer, and you can find your local Planned Parenthood and contact them about different ways to get involved in your local community as well. Also, bringing the legal action on behalf of the American people is the Southern Poverty Law Center. They do incredibly good work. They are at splcenter.org. Of course, all of these links will be in the segment information when we post the podcast. And I am located in Memphis, Tennessee. So I know that many of our listeners many of our few listeners are in the region, and so I thought that I would post some more local resources to get involved with things. The best one that I have so far is the Memphis Activism calendar, which is at memphisactivismcalendar.weebly.com. And there's a team there that has done the work of getting in contact with all of the local activist groups, like all of the local activist groups, and has them post their meetings, post their fundraisers, post their events, post everything to a common calendar. So no matter what it is that you want to be involved in, they have the resources and they have the schedule for you to get involved with that. And the one that I wanted to promote from that calendar this week, next Saturday night, the Memphis Feminist Collective is having a huge party. They're celebrating their third birthday as an activist group here in Memphis. That is going to be at the Midtown Crossing Grill. It starts at 5 o'clock. There's going to be music. Midtown Crossing Grill has crazy good pizza. Like, go check it out. It's going to run like all freaking night. But the Memphis Feminist Collective, as my friend said the other day, they don't fuck around. Like, they are doing incredibly good work in Memphis right now. And you can also check them out. You can find the information for that on the Memphis Activism calendar, or you can find Memphis Feminist Collective on Facebook. And they are doing amazing, amazing work in the community right now. And finally, as we have mentioned several times throughout the podcast, all of our music today was provided by the Living Room Leftists. They're a local band for not very much longer because several of their members are moving and they will no longer be performing, which is incredibly sad, and I'm not going to cry about it. But they did just have their album drop, or their album release yesterday in digital only, which you can purchase and download at livingroomleftists.bandcamp.com. They also have t-shirts for sale. Like I said, they are incredibly funny, very clever. Their songwriter is awesome. This is what happens when you let...
buy the album.
Go buy the album, guys.
Buy.
It's incredible.
Download.
They're trying to get together enough money to have records pressed, which, don't know if you know, costs a lot. So the more people we can get to give them money for that, the better. That would be a treat to have their music on vinyl. But they sing about like leftist politics and philosophy and like all this other ridiculous stuff that more people should write about. They're incredibly entertaining, and everybody should buy their awesome new album that finally is out after months and months and months of waiting. But check out the link if you are interested. Check out the link at the in the podcast information. I'm sure that they would greatly appreciate your support.
Mm-hmm. And they provided us with our nice new theme song, which
yes, our new theme song. Our new theme song that's going to be featured in every episode is called "Four Kinds of Matter." That's of course off the new album.
Awesome. We are lucky to have it. Said go get the album, guys, and go show your support to those organizations. Go get your information. If there's anything we need right now, is more people being active and more people getting information.
Go educate yourselves, guys.
Go educate yourselves. Get there. And I think with that, once again, all these links will be in the description for the video. Video will be posted on Spreaker.com. The recording will be posted on Spreaker.com as always, and will also be up on YouTube for those who might not go on Spreaker for more public audience. But once again, the links will be in the description. And looks like that will be the end of today's show. And we will be back hopefully next week. We're going to be working around some time. We have a lot to do. I'm going to be back and forth from Dallas next weekend, but we will try to get in a recording and join you again next week for the Outer Voices podcast. Once again, this has been Keem and my lovely, awesome co-host, who is just badass, Miss Esmeralda Di Apollo.
Woo!
And until next time, we are out.
But there are these things that matter, and they really fucking matter. There's like 4 things that matter, and they really fucking matter. I mean, objectively, I mean, you should care, especially you, if you thought about it for 5 fucking minutes.